Thank you for subscribing to the channel. It's much appreciated, and for those who haven't subscribed yet, it would be much appreciated. Thank you. What I want to talk to you about today is 5 of my favourite Canva tips. Now, I could just put a whole video together with 10, 15, 20 or more of my Canva tips, but I'm just going to do 5 now, and I'll probably do 5 in a few weeks' time. But I think you'll find them handy, and if you don't at the moment, you might do in the future. So let's take a look. The first one is keyboard objects. Now, what I mean by that is, if I was to just press C on the keyboard, I get a circle, and I can change the color and do whatever I want with it from there. So that's handy. Or I can put a rectangle just by pressing R on the keyboard. Again, that's handy. What about line? Yep, I can put a line just by pressing L on the keyboard. This is super handy doing these sort of things. And let's say I wanted text. Well, I can just press T. And there's the text there, and I can start working with it from there, make all the adjustments here at the top, and it's just another simple way of doing it. So really, I mean, that's all there is for keyboard objects, but it's a great little handy thing to know. Now the second one, drag and drop. So what I mean by that is, if I open a folder, instead of uploading everything all the time over here on the uploads, I can just drag something in. So let's say, for instance, here's a picture of my old friend, my old late friend, Jason, and I'll put him in the picture there. And let's say, for instance, I wanted something else. I'll go back to the folder and I'll put a little video in. Okay, and I can resize that. But sometimes it's just handier dragging and dropping all the things I need into here. And I have 2 screens. So it's actually even better because I can have my whole page set up on my left screen, say a Canva page which I'm working on from a children's book. I can have the same book over this side on another screen, and I can drag from one to the other, each item. But most people can just use the same screen and just shrink 2 pages and drag and drop from there. The third one, grabbing layers. See, the problem is when they're overlapping all the time, and you put a bit of a shadow on, there's something behind something else, and you can't get it. You can't get the layer you want without moving the top layer, and it's a real pain. So there's a simple trick for that. So what we've got here is we've got 3 layers. Let me just zoom in on that. Now if I really zoom in, yeah, I can grab that layer, but you know, it's not always that easy to do. So let's just say, for instance, I close them up even tighter, so they were barely visible, and I zoomed out a little bit, and I can't get at that back layer. I click the top one, I go to the control button on the keyboard, I hold that down, and then with the left mouse I click, and it's gone to the next one, next layer now. Click again, it's gone to the 3rd layer, and from there what I can do is I can move that back layer out, or I can just, if I don't want it there, or I wanted to move a little bit, if I didn't want to move it but I wanted to change the color, just leave it there and change the color from there. So I've not had to disturb the front one or the one after that. 4, grouping. Sometimes, you know, I don't want to have to move things around like this when I'm doing a children's book. I want things all to be moving together, but I've made all these different images. So what do? Well, I click with the left mouse on there, I hold the Shift key down, I click on the next image while still holding the Shift key down, and I'll click on the next image using the left mouse, and I'm still holding the Shift key down. I take my finger off the shift key and the mouse, and I go up to here where it says group, and I click group. Now all those images are together, so I can just move them however I want, and I can just ungroup them at any time too. QR codes. Now I've started incorporating these into all my books, my latest books, and I'll probably go back over all of my other books and add a QR code to the back of my book, only a small one, or onto the last page of my book, or somewhere inside anyway. because people at one point were really sort of bored with QR codes. A lot of people are using them again, and they seem to be growing in popularity, and they're really easy to use. So let's show you how to create them. For an example, here could be a business card, or it could be a letterhead, it could be anything at all. I go over to the list down here, and I would go to apps, and I would type in QR, and there it is there. So I'll go with QR. I'm going to go over to my YouTube channel. I'm going to copy the URL from there, close that down. I'm going to enter it into here, and I'm going to generate the QR code. So there it is. So now I can just have this on a business card, on the back of my book, anywhere. And when somebody looks at the QR code, and it's quite simple, you just get your phone, and most phones are already set up with this. This is an iPhone. I'm pretty sure the Android phones have the QR code set up already, and it's just a free app anyway if you don't, so you just download those QR code readers. I'll use my camera, and I look at it with my camera, and it says there at the top, it's picked it up, YouTube QR code. So all I do then is I press it, and I've gone straight to my YouTube channel. So this is handy. This is a handy feature, and a lot of people like playing about with them. A lot of people can't be bothered to type anything in, and yeah, like I say, I'm adding it to all my future books. I'll go back and change covers on a lot of my more popular books. So I hope those 5 tips are going to be handy for you. Again, like I say, in a little while, in a few weeks' time or whatever, I'll put another 5 tips in, and yeah, I'll keep it nice and short and hopefully interesting. So that's it.